Let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a story that, honestly, looks like a simple, calming bedtime tale on the surface. But actually, it's a profound masterclass in problem-solving under pressure, resourcefulness, and mindfulness. It's called The Cloud Painter, and we're going to break down exactly how the protagonist navigates a sudden, incredibly high-stakes crisis.
So picture this. What happens when the one person responsible for bringing an entire village to sleep makes a massive, critical mistake? Talk about a compelling hook, right? We've all felt that intense pressure where people are relying entirely on us, and suddenly, the tools we absolutely need just aren't there. This sets up instant intrigue around our main character's dilemma, and we're going to see exactly how he handles it.
All right, Section 1, The Village of Soft Skies. Let's set the scene.
The story places us in this quiet little village, tucked far away beyond the whispering mountains. And everything there literally glows in soft lavender and gold. Notice how those vivid sensory details just instantly pull us into this peaceful environment? The stars are just starting to peek out. It establishes this incredible baseline of utter tranquility for a boy named Eli, which, as you'll see, is absolutely crucial for the contrast that's coming up.
Now, in this perfectly serene village, Eli has one very specific, highly specialized job. Every single evening, right before the moon wakes up, he takes a bucket of cloud paint and a large brush all the way up to the tall, dreaming hill, and he paints these magnificent creations: pink and blue clouds, clouds shaped like sleeping elephants, and slow, drifting boats. This isn't just art, by the way. The village actually believes that the softer the clouds, the sweeter the dreams. So the entire village's rest relies completely on Eli's nightly routine.
Which brings us to Section 2, the empty bucket crisis. This is where things go completely off the rails.
The pivot here is so sudden. Eli gets to the top of the hill, opens his bucket, and realizes he completely forgot to refill it. It is bone dry. So the crucial point to understand here is the stark contrast between expectation and reality. Down in the village, kids are already tucking into bed expecting that soft, calming sky. But because of Eli's empty bucket, the actual sky is bare, dark, and perfectly still. I mean, the pressure in this moment is just immense.
So what does he do? This is arguably the most important part of our explainer. Look at how Eli mentally and physically regulates his panic. Instead of totally spiraling, he looks at the empty sky, looks at his empty bucket, and actually just sits down on the soft grass. He takes a slow, deep breath, and he literally whispers to himself, "Okay, think slowly, move slowly." That right there is a highly actionable framework for crisis management. He deliberately slows his nervous system down so he can actually stay in the present and think of a real solution.
And that mental clarity leads us directly into Section 3, the grandmother's wisdom. This is the big turning point.
Because he actually took the time to breathe, Eli remembers this crucial piece of advice from his grandmother. When you have nothing, look at what is already there. If you take one thing away from this explainer, let it be this quote. It is such a powerful, centering approach to problem solving. It shifts his whole mindset from scarcity, panicking over the empty bucket, to pure resourcefulness, focusing on the environment that's right in front of him.
Moving on to Section 4, painting with reflections. Let's see how Eli actually applies this.
So Eli calmly walks down this moonlit path to a hidden spot called Silver Lake. The water is perfectly still like a giant mirror. And looking at what is already there, he spots it. Soft, sleeping clouds, painted by the setting sun hours ago, floating silently right there in the reflection of the water. So he resourcefully dips his brush, not into paint, but into the water itself, and he gently lifts those reflected clouds right up into the real sky. It's this brilliant, totally out-of-the-box solution that only happened because he managed to stay calm. And you know what? It works beautifully. He lifts one cloud, then another, creating this whole slow river of them. The sky just fills up with these amazing shapes: a sleeping fox, a swaying hammock, a wide blanket pulled across the sky. They stack up like soft pillows, one by one, successfully recreating exactly what the village needs to rest, using literally nothing but water, a reflection, and a calm mind. And his quick thinking has an almost instant cascading effect on the village below. Just minutes later, children who were tossing and turning sigh softly and sink deeper into sleep. Shortly after that, mothers rocking babies feel their arms grow slow and heavy. Moments later, even the dogs curl up tighter. It's this beautiful chain reaction of peace, and it all started with one person's refusal to panic. Which brings us to our final section, the village sleeps, the quiet resolution. Eli looks up at the soft, full sky one last time and slowly makes his way home under the high moon. Following his deliberate routine, setting his bucket by the door, climbing into bed, pulling the blanket up to his chin, and just looking out the window, we see how his slow, steady pacing perfectly mirrors the calm he just restored. His own physical actions finally match the tranquility of the village he just saved. Looking out at those clouds he just painted, he speaks just a single word. "Good," he whispered, and he falls fast asleep. It's this quiet little confirmation that his mindful, resourceful solution worked perfectly. The whole village is experiencing the softest dreams, simply because the clouds were just right. So I want to leave you with this final thought. When you hit your own empty bucket moment, when the tools you always rely on fail, when the pressure is entirely on you and panic is creeping in, what is already there that could save the day? Challenge yourself to take Eli's calm resourcefulness and apply it to your own life. Stop, breathe, think slowly, and look really closely at the resources already surrounding you. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I hope it helps you find your own Silver Lake the next time you really need it.